assist. Good morning. Welcome to another live field with Sheldon's YouTube channel. Let's look into Psalm 13, the base for our hope from this study, overcoming depression. Overcome depression. The basis of our hope. Basis for our hope. And it reads, How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts, and every day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? Look on me and answer, O Lord my God, give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death. My enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall. But I trust in your unfailing love, and my heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord that he has been good to me. All right, this is the basis for our hope. Let's read from that. Let's break it down. Someone once said, you can live 40 days without food, 7 days without water, 7 minutes without air. But you can't live a moment without hope. Hope is the present assurance of some future good. Those with depression experience a sense of hopelessness born out of negative and often false perception of themselves and present circumstances in the future, resulting in emotional state usually not based on reality, nor is it usually perceived truthfully from God's perspective. We learned from an earlier study. Absolute truth, day 2. And if what we believe does not reflect truth, then what we feel does not reflect reality. Psalm 13, David exhibits many of the classic symptoms of depression, including hopelessness, negative self-talk, thoughts of death, and sadness. David is depressed because he is focusing on his circumstances. Sees no future hope. He has a false perception of himself and God. Even though David believes in God, he is depressed because what he believes about God is not true. How can an omnipresent, omniscient God forget him for even 1 minute, much less forever? A chief characteristic of depression is that they have a distorted concept of both God and themselves. If you believe that God has forgotten you, then you will have no hope. If you think you have lost your salvation or have never had it, then you will have no hope. David asks, How long must I wrestle with my thoughts? When we wrestle with our thoughts, we are doing nothing more than talking to ourselves. That, of course, is not the answer to our depression. Turning to God is the answer. And that is what David does. He overcomes depression by first placing his trust in God's unfailing love. Like David, though we have a level of trust in God, we sometimes allow the negative success of life to draw attention away from him. But when a temporal state of condition is put in the light of God's unfailing love, we find first hope. God is the only constant in this ever-changing world. David's heart rejoices in his salvation. He remembers that he has a covenant relationship with God, and so do we. God hasn't changed, and his word hasn't changed. Now we are children of God, and what we will be has not yet been made known. But we know that when he appears, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Everyone has this hope in him, purifies himself, just as he is pure. So when we find our hope fading, we ought to recall again who God is and who we are in Christ. So another aspect of spiritual recovery that is mentioned in Psalm 13 is singing. The spiritual dimension of music is often overlooked. When David played the harp, the evil spirit departed from Saul, and the hand of the Lord came upon Elisha. When the harpist played in Psalm 13, David sings to the Lord. Singing helps us stop wrestling with negative thoughts. One of the main determinants of whether the depressed mood persists or lift is the degree to which we ruminate. About what is depression us makes depression all the more intense and prolonged. Singing hymns of praise helps us focus our minds. Singing is something we can choose to do. Basis for our hope. Psalm 13. So we'll be in day 3 tomorrow. Get into it. That'll be overcoming hopelessness. We'll be in the New Testament. Hebrews chapter 6, verse 13 and 19. Be back at about 11:45 for the next live feed. Thanks for the 13 people tuning in. 17 people tuning in. I just finished reading about the basis for our hope, Psalm 13, Overcome Depression study. Be back at 11:45 through that book, When the Game Was War, the greatest NBA season ever, 1987-88 season. Today I should be getting my new computer, man. That's going to be important because now I'm going to set everything up properly and make sure I upgrade my YouTube channel for the live streaming, the visuals, the images, everything that's going to be put to it. I'm definitely going to look forward to putting that together today. It's supposed to be arriving today. I thought it was going to come tomorrow. So the computer's going to be coming today. So I'm looking forward to doing my thing. Keep supporting the channel. Appreciate the time. I'll be back at 11:45 for another live feed. Stay tuned. Until then, talk to you soon.